Hi, everybody. I see everybody made it, that I actually invited here, and that's really, really good. Um, the music that you just heard is called Follow Me, and it's done by Walter Hawkins and the Love Center Choir. Walter Hawkins died some years ago. He was very, very young. And it was really a shame that he had died. He had really reached a lot of people through his music, as far as people becoming Christians. He had really moved a lot of people. And I don't dedicate this speech to him, but I did want to mention that because while I was here at the church, I listened to Walter Hawkins all the time, every morning before I went to church and so forth and so on. So I just thought that I would put that in there. And actually, this introduction or presentation is dedicated to the Fall River Church of Christ in the year of our Lord 2012. And actually, it's one that's going to go into my book, Found in a Garbage Can. Yes, my mother used to say that all the time when I was a kid. She used to say, I found you in a garbage can. Which is really pretty funny. And she's dead now. She died in 2004, and I miss her terribly. But this is dedicated to the Fall River Church of Christ that became my home away from home. I like to think of myself sort of a Pied Piper. A Pied Piper who hasn't had any mice in a very long time. And I never knew why, and I couldn't understand. But after I do this introduction, you'll understand. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tanya. It's actually Tanya Elizabeth Parton Lawton. That's the actual name that I have, that I signed my name with. And it is kind of long, but it just reminds me of every part of me, which is why I keep it that way. For those of you who don't know me, I am a disciple of Christ and have been since 1988. I wanted to share that with you because I don't think I've really shared very much of my personal life with many of you in the church. So just with a few, and boy, when they knew me, they knew me. So this is the first time that I've spoken in such a manner and setting since 1991 in the Boston Church of Christ, when I used to lead the Single Mothers Ministry. We had mothers that really needed help with really just getting to church all the time and trying to help them to realize that if you don't have a ride, what would you do for God to make it there? And just the encouragement level in that church was so high that I never thought that I would ever see it again, or I thought that everyone else needed to have it. And I never knew that there was other ways of living for God and other ways of living for God and making disciples. But so like I said, I'm going to go ahead. You can go ahead and laugh at that because I know it's really silly. You know, there's people that always think that there's only one way to do things, and that's usually the ones that end up messing up their lives and not doing what they really do need to do for God, and the focus is totally off. And that's not what that's not what I would want, but it was the way I was living. But anyway, that's how that goes, and it still just needed to be said. A few of you sitting here really know me well. Everybody knows me because I'm all over the place and I talk to everyone, and there's nothing you can do to stop me from talking and sharing about God and, really being Miss Gung-Ho, and I understand that, and I understand that very much. And I've toned it down quite a bit. You just don't know how I was, but I've toned it down quite a bit since I've been here, which has been a real blessing. I want to thank you for that too. But Ron and Louise know me really well. I would say know me well. Ron knows me real well. I consider him to be a friend and confidant. He was the first person to engage in conversation with me after I came through those doors back there for the first time 2 years ago. And actually, a couple of times looked back, but he stayed. But Ron, he encouraged me every step of the way to whatever it was, anything that wasn't even what the church was doing, he encouraged me to go ahead and do in my life. He never stopped me, not once, from doing anything that I wanted to do. He encouraged me so much. We've had meetings, excuse me. No, I don't want to talk about the meetings yet, but like I said, he encouraged me in everything I did. Louise and I, we had a little, not even a tiff or anything, it was just misunderstanding, and through that misunderstanding, we got close. And I really appreciated that so much through Louise, because she encouraged me with helping me to know that she saw me as a happy person now, and not someone Bible banging everyone, even Bible banging in church. I mean, it's an amazing thing to think about. It really is amazing. But I think these two people, I feel that they love me, and I feel that they let me in to their lives. They let me waltz right into their lives, and they never even allowed me to want to leave or to do anything like that. They wanted me to be whatever it was God was going to mold me into being. And I really appreciate their encouragement. I want to cry right now, but I'm not going to cry right now because I got not a lot of things to say, but I still have stuff to say. By the way, this is another test video, but it is something I'm going to put on my website because I really want people to hear my beginnings, and I want people to hear about the Fall River Church of Christ. I believe God led me here for a really, really big reason, and that reason was for me to learn what my calling was. If I hadn't calmed it down a little bit because of the people here in the church, if I hadn't, it's amazing. I have shivers going up my spine too, because I think about it, and I think about the days I walk into church and hey and no, and I'm so like that, and everybody's so laid back, and it was like, wow, I always thought I was. Actually, afterwards, I started thinking I was intruding, and then people were telling me, no, talk to me, la la la. It was great, anyway, and it still is. The thing is, excuse me, I'm sorry. I was reading this and I just forgot. I didn't want to read it like it was a real, like a piece of paper that I was reading. I wanted to, ad-lib and all that kind of stuff. But when I ad-lib, I end up going all over the place. So I have to catch up with myself here. Thank you. So the day that I walked through that door, and I listened to that message, I can't remember if Mike was speaking or if Ron was speaking. I kind of think that Mike was, but I don't really remember. And me, I take notes in service, but Ron walks over to me, and he says to me, this is after the service happens, and I told him how I thought it was great. I remember that. I remember thinking, let me get everything that I can in, tell him everything about me, and then maybe I can move on real quick, and I don't have to, these are exactly the thoughts that were going through my mind way before even trying to think about listening to him. That's how I've always been like that. But that's really intense. So like I said, I keep all spiritual messages when I'm in churches or people want to talk to me or anything. I write something down. I walk down the street having a quiet time. I'll jot something down that will, that I will think of, and I'll keep the papers. And later on in life, I'll put together the papers, and it creates things like being able to speak to you right now. So. Anyway, this particular one, I refer to them later, like I said, and this particular one, it just so happens that I just can't find it. I wanted to talk about it and say what it meant to me, because just that first message, it really did mean something to me, and now I don't remember what it was. But the thing is that the thing is that I know that it was God. I'm going to have to break this off because my doorbell is ringing, but I'll be back. Thanks.